A lot of people do say, and I want to ask you this, that you did spend a lot of money in infrastructure, on APEC, on a lot of other things.
Sure.
And of course the returns are going to take some time before we realize it. Did you spend a lot of money and was it worth it? Can you clarify that a bit?
Over 8 years, on average of say 2 billion kina we borrowed to invest in infrastructure in the country. Now when you go to places like Lae used to be a portal city. We have cemented the city. We have built a big international port. We are now, through with the Australian government's agreement on refugees, we are building the biggest hospital, rebuilding the Enga hospital there. We have started the 4-lane from the city all the way to the airport so we can have access to people coming through. And then of course, we've got the airport through ADB funding, a loan that we've got to build a new terminal and a new expansion. So that's just an example in Lae. We are doing that in Wewak. We are doing that in Mount Hagen. We are doing that in Vanimo. We are doing that in Manus. We are doing that in Oro province. We are doing it in Wewak. We are doing it across the country in every province, every provincial town, the city that we are trying to rebuild so that these basic services are flowing. These are economic infrastructures. We are rebuilding the Highlands Highway, which is 80% complete now. And you can now drive on a very comfortable road from Mount Hagen to Lae. These are real things that are there before us. We're building hospitals, we're building schools. These are infrastructures that will save us for another 20 or 30 years. It is worth spending that. And not only that, it generates revenue because the businesses will start booming. We can deliver more services like health and education, productivity increases. So it's a whole range of issues that relate to the infrastructure that we build. So, I make no apology that I did that. But it's an option is we leave it as it is and we run down roads and get frustrated and swear at the member and why is the member not doing this? We try to address that. This has been 40 years in the making. John, when you have 40 years of neglect and you're trying to do it in 7 years, of course people sit up and say, what's going on? And they accuse you of all kinds of things. I don't mind, being accused about things, but at least I get a thing done.
Next on Your Vote Matters.
Many of the SOEs are not functioning because they can see the head of the organization is a wrong person who's occupying them.
This program has been sponsored by the People's National Congress.
You've got to do it like business, run it like a businessman.
Precisely.
As a business person.
Yes.
Profit, loss, make speculative investments, but of course, if it's educated judgment, then there are returns.
Of course, and you do it with the officials that you employ. The state has got access to a lot of advisors and a lot of employees who give you advice on how to progress it. And based on that advice, we progress it. Sometimes we'll get it right, sometimes we'll get it wrong. Nobody's going to get it perfect all the time. But that's the real world we are living in.
Sure.
So, but I don't run away from all the mistakes that I've made. I take ownership of it, I learn from it, and I improve on it and I move on.
Okay. A lot of the things that PNC has and you have, you will need the public service machinery in order to achieve some of the objectives, policies that you have. The public service, I noticed that you have not said much about that.
Well, it needs a lot of cleaning up, and that's obvious.
How are you going to do it?
We're going to start sacking those people who are already appointed, who don't deserve to be in this position.
That's been said many times.
Well, you will see a different style this time.
Okay.
That I can guarantee you. Because you have seen political appointments in key positions all around the country who do not deserve those. You have to earn your keep in life. If you have worked hard and you have qualified for it and you deserve this position, the people that you work with and people you supervise and people who work under you will respect you.
Yes.
But if you have not earned it, they will not respect you. and then the entire system collapses. That's why many of the departments are not functioning, many of the SOEs are not functioning, because they can see the head of the organization is a wrong person who's occupying that. He's occupied because he's from the Prime Minister's electorate, or he's a want-of of the Prime Minister, or he's a cousin of the Prime Minister. You look at the places like the Defense Force. It's a mess. So those are institutions that we will be looking very closely right across the country, and we will put it very fairly to them.
Okay.
If you think that you do not deserve that position, you should just voluntarily resign,
Okay.
so that we don't have to go around sacking people and upsetting the entire process. But listen, we need to appoint. We've got enough experienced people around the country. After 47 years of independence, we got talented people right across the country, but we are not putting the right people to the right jobs.
Should it be Should it be privatized? There was a suggestion that it should be.
There has been some institutions that you need to privatize, but some institutions as a government, you need to have that social responsibility. When you start privatizing things, it's motivated by profit.
Yeah.
Of course, the performance will improve, but it's motivated by profit, and the service that some people who are supposed to get that service will miss out. So that is why governments have to fill that role. So when you have an obligation of delivering a health program in some remote area, sometimes it can't make money, so the privatized institutions won't deliver that. So government must step into fitting those roles. So whereas government is not profit motivated, it must be motivated towards service.
And then a educated, informed public servant
Yes.
carries all that out.
We have in our discussions at the convention and the policies that we have put out, it will be posted on the website very, very soon, or detailed policy platform of PNC, and it will clearly articulate about retraining of the policies of like in-service for teachers and public servants. We used to have that for a long, long time, but apparently it got stopped along the way. So we need to bring them every 2 years or every 3 years to upgrade them on their skills, see what's going and changes that are happening around the world in their sector. These are important upgrades and refreshments that they need to do. So we are going to revive some of those old habits that we have forgotten.
Okay. Well, one of those old habits that you're going to revive is, and I want to touch on education a little bit, is the net score.
Yes. Well, we have seen as Marape government cancelling the free education in 2019. That was really a silly decision. You are putting almost 2.2 plus million kids' future at jeopardy by forcing the parents to look for school fees to pay for the school fees. So we are saying from elementary all the way up to year 12, it'll be free.
He's brought that back, though, hasn't he?
He's only brought it back because of elections. You know, it's not. He's been an education minister before, but he doesn't care about the children. He doesn't care about the children. He was only interested in the investment that education was doing on infrastructure, the maintenance contracts, the contracts to build classrooms, which was mismanaged, and you know, a lot of controversy was there in the education department. Those are things that they were interested in. They don't care about the children. We, when we were in government, we brought back the standard-based education system. We did away with we changed the curriculum so that we go back to the old ways of teaching. Right. You know, John, you and I were brought up in that standard-based education system, and we didn't do too badly. So why change something that is working? Yeah. So we brought them to make sure that the focus is on English, focuses on science, focuses on maths, and those core subjects that need to drive the education thinking of a child. So elementary to year 12, we are saying upgrade the syllabus, retrain the teachers, increase the number of teachers. We have committed 1 billion kina to invest in education and health infrastructure in the country over the next 5 years.
Okay.
So that is a big, massive investment to build more classrooms, more facilities, so that we can teach.
Okay.
But going on net school, I think you again, Marape government brought this student loan scheme. We think it's very unfair that parents who are struggling to pay school fees in the first instance are asked to go and get a loan now to pay for the school fees for the kids to go to universities and colleges. So we've had a very successful net school program in the country before. We need to upgrade that. We need to expand it and make sure that that is available to every child that wants to go to university, every child that wants to go to colleges, because skilling them is very important. Just educating them, as we are doing now, and leaving them on the street is dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Quality. You've been Prime Minister. You're not the opposition leader today. It is the Honorable Beldan Mama, and James Marape is the Prime Minister.
Sure.
In this election,
Sure.
the focus is on you and on Mr. Marape.
Sure.
Why is that? You two worked together, you two, for many, many years. Why within the last 3 years that you two fell apart? Is it the ideology? Is it the personality? Is it the country? Maybe we need to hear that.
Well, I mean, I thought I knew Marape, quite well. He's from the same area as I come from, in the former Southern Islands province, of which Ella was part of. And it was some of the young leaders that I was sort of grooming up to do the right thing. But he was in a bit of a hurry, so he started playing games behind my back. And of course, the result of it is that he destroyed our party, PNC's mandate that was given by the people in 2019. He was with Somalia for almost 6 or 7 years before he came and joined me, and he was with me for 8 years, or 7 years. Now, within that time, he's been minister all along, and he's been chairman of the Ella Transitional Authority for probably 12 months or so. But he has really not managed anything in life. So his hunger for power has got him there. And in order to maintain stability in our party, when he failed his bid when he went to Laguna, I said, listen, if you are so determined to take this on, I will resign and you take it on. So that was the conclusion of the meetings that we had. I've never asked for any protection. I've never asked for any ministries. I've never asked him for any favors while he was minister, and while he is Prime Minister, I've allowed him to do his job. So, for 3 years, all he has been trying to do is to put me in jail. That is number one agenda. But he himself, as a finance minister for 7 years under me, if I had done something wrong, he would be the first one to know. But
Okay.
he's not saying anything, because I've never asked him to do anything wrong. Unlike what he's doing today, is writing checks. After the elections, we will do an audit and I will put it publicly. If you see the number of checks that have been written in planning department by Rainbow Paita, you will be shocked. If you will see the checks that have been written in the finance department, you will be shocked.
Okay. When the time comes, we'll...
It will.
Quality is one. Today, I think our universities, quality is an area that's a lot to be desired. Do we say, hang on, we don't have the people on shore to make sure that there is quality?
Sure.
Do we need to go abroad? Let's get away from emotional nationalism in our education system.
And we don't need to nationalize key positions like the specialist lecturers that we require in universities and so forth. We don't need to be in a hurry to nationalize everything. And then we have huge gaps, because most of the positions that filled by some of our people, they don't have the experience and the required qualifications to get there, but we keep on pushing them up.
Yeah.
We need to stop that. We need to send these people overseas to go and learn more and go and gain experience and then come back. And those are things that we have to do. And we have to start recruiting internationally. There is no shame in recruiting the best people around the world to come and teach in our universities. What is a shame about that? If we are falling behind, we must go out to the world and get the best people. And that's what we are going to do. We're going to recruit the best people to come and teach here. Teach our children so that they will learn from the best to become better and become better qualified.
Yeah, and I guess I just want to touch on this, that brings us to Australia being our closest neighbor and a country that is developed that we can look to towards improving our education system here. What about Australia giving us grants, budget aid, or whatever it is? Maybe stop that and say, hang on, educate our people. Take some of our best students down there and educate them. Change the educational culture here a little bit and set some standards and pace.
Yes.
Would that be something that you'd look at?
Yes, there is a little bit of that happening now, but in very limited numbers. We've got to increase the numbers. You know, we have a population of 10 million. So taking 50 or 100 or 200 is not going to make a big difference. So we need to expand it to thousands. And not only to Australia, but we have to send them to England, the United States, and all the other countries that have similar laws, similar jurisdiction, similar Western style of government, Westminster style of government. Canada is another one. And these are all partners that we already have. It's a matter of just making sure that we communicate with them, we keep on encouraging them to accept and that our kids are some of the most talented and most willing to learn in the world. And we need to give them that opportunity.
Next,
I think that this is a very important election. Unlike elections in the past, we are approaching 50 years as an independent nation.
this program has been sponsored by the People's National Congress.
But look, politics in Papua New Guinea.
Yes.
You and Marape had loggerheads, you're at each other's throat, if you will. But in politics in PNG, you will make it up, you'll come together.
No, I don't think so, because, you know, he has shown his true colors. He claims to be a very good Christian, a son of a pastor, but he's a very vindictive, evil person. He pretends to be very competent and capable, but he is incompetent. You know, so how can I work with someone who's got nothing to offer to the nation?
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that we can't work with Pangu or we can't work with anyone else. But with Marape, he's made his position very clear. He said, if I don't get an invitation, I will resign. So hopefully, but he's known to lie before. So we'll see how he honors that word.
Okay, okay. One last point to the people of the country. We're about to go to polling right now.
Yes.
What would you like to say to them?
Well, I think that this is a very important election. Unlike elections in the past, we are approaching 50 years as an independent nation. We have come through many challenges, but also we have achieved so much within that time. But we can do more. We've seen the performance of the current government in the last 3.5 years, and you've seen the performance of PNC-led government in the 8 years that we were in. In between, of course, we've all made mistakes, we've learned from it, and this government is making more mistakes and it's not learning. So this is the difference that we are taking to the nation. PNC has got a set of policies that is focused on the people, focused on the future of our country, that is the children, and we've got achievable and policies that can be implemented that people understand and easily accept. Whereas Pangu is just going on with a slogan called Pangu Sabe Lorot. I mean, Pangu achieved independence, we respect that. But the Pangu today is very different from Pangu of yesterday, where you had very leaders who had national pride, like Somare and the leaders who went with him. But today you have young leaders who are driven by the checkbook and claims culture that they're taken into Wagani. So that is not going to take us anywhere. Okay. So this is the difference that we are putting to the nation, and the nation decide. And if they feel that we'll continue with the same today, we are happy for it too. If they think that we will give our country a bit of a chance and give our children a bit of a chance, we are quite happy to work as hard as we do.
Okay. So one final point, you said you feel you've said enough and that it's been a humble investment, you expect a humble return?
Yes, I expect a verdict of the people through their ballot, and we will accept the results that they give. But you know, we hear about a lot of fake ballot papers been floated around, and government institutions been used to do that. It's a bit of a concern. We want the election to be fair. If we lose and the people have made their choice in that aspect, we will respect that. But losing to people who are cheating is not the right way to be a leader. You need to earn the respect of the people, and then you will enjoy the work being a leader of the people, because you've mandated properly. But if you steal leadership, I know that because of my governor in my province, he can't go anywhere because people don't respect him. Because he has come through the window. So now we're trying to send him at the back door. So we have to get a candidate to come through the front door.
Okay. All right. All right, Mr. O'Neill, thank you very much for talking to us, and best of luck to yourself and to PNC.
Thank you very much, John, and thank you to our listeners, viewers right across the country. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated. And comment your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to leave a like.